The engine bay is so cavernous I can hear an echo. Like, even the 400 isn't big enough to fill the whole engine bay. Like, these engine bays were fantastic. You could climb in there, you could have a nap, you could rent it out to a family of 9. Like, good lord, people. Fantastic. Hey guys, Dave from Dave's Glory Shopworks here, and on this video I'm going to give you a view of what's in my backyard, basically. Project vehicles, parts vehicles, that kind of jazz. We'll kind of go over a few things. I know in some other videos you've seen little tidbits here and there, but I'm going to give you a full view of what's going on back here. So come on with me and we will make it happen. So we're going to start with my my Suzuki. This is a 1980 Suzuki GS 750, 4-cylinder. Some of you'll recall a couple short videos of painting the fuel tank on it. Probably almost 2 years ago now, and it has held up beautifully. Recovered the seat. I went through and changed out the shocks, did a few other things to it. It's almost ready. But the bike needs a new drain plug, and it's a large drain plug, so I've got to make a fix for that. The drain plug doesn't tighten up; it's stripped out. So that's where we're gonna start with on that bike. Then we've got a few miscellaneous engines here. Most of them I've blown up. This 305 is a blow up from my daughter's truck, from Aiden's 1980 Chevy Square Body. That was a happy running 305 until she managed to over rev it and cause the well, we'll say the chain reaction of events that put a 4.8 liter LS engine in the truck. Right here we have a 360 that I starved for oil in about 30 minutes. This here looks to be a 318 Magnum block that's just sitting and waiting for maybe. Right there is my old 408 stroker. So the crank is finished. The block is still integrally good. It's a 30 thousandths overbore 360 Magnum, and it doesn't need anything for the block to be good, just to clean up. But I got to decide if I want to do another stroker crank or if I want to put a Bordeaux 360 in it. Whatever, we'll figure it out. That's that stuff. So then we go. This was Brooks' winter beater, just a ugly old yellow Dodge Dakota, and it has seen better days, let me tell you. But right now the 3.7 liter V6 is just pumping crankcase pressure and misfiring at a cylinder number 5, so I can assume a burnt valve, a hole in the piston, something bad. It's not happy. So it's sitting. It's parts for her. She has a 2006 Dakota that she's driving now, and that's just a parts rig. So parts rigs are important. Familiar with the lunch truck? This is Brooks' 1979 Dodge half-ton. Things to it, like we put in a 5-speed manual, redid the interior, except for the seat, mind you, and the carpeting yet, but repainted the door panels, the dash, reassembled everything nice and tidy. But as far as everything goes, engine issues are engine issues, and the poor 318 Magnum, it's knocking, and it's knocking bad. It was ran out of oil. There's been an oil leak that we fixed one oil leak, didn't fix the other issue, which was kind of a burning oil. Anyway, it ran out of oil and it started knocking, so the poor lunch truck is sitting until we can build something else for it. This is literally a 2003 Dodge Dakota that is a parts truck for Nat's Dodge Dakota, and that's all it is. It's a parts truck. There's no engine in it. There is a 5-speed manual hooked up to a 4-wheel drive transfer case, but I don't think we're going to do a manual swap on Nat's Dakota yet. But if we do, we have all the parts to do it. But we have spare diff parts and drive shafts and seats and interior stuff, so we've got a host of good parts out of this truck to make hers a little bit better as we go. This little guy, I can't even tell you. It's just a little Chinese side-by-side. I got it from my friend Stan. It was gifted to Brooke, actually, and this thing is a banger. Like, it runs good. It's fast. It's a 4-speed manual, and it's a ripper. But it needs a clutch, and the starter solenoid needs to be gone through and cleaned up, or replace the starter. So until I can find out what kind of clutch this thing needs, that's where it's sitting. It's just hanging out in the sunshine and the cold weather, sadly. Now, some of my early on subscribers will remember the Ram Charger. I have not gotten rid of it. I actually technically sold it. It's sitting here and waiting to be picked up 2.5, 3 years later. So as it goes, I mean, it's still in my possession technically, so I have pulled a couple of small parts off it that I needed, little things as you go. But poor girl looks good, but it looks better than it is. I painted this thing. We did a quick weekend warrior paint job. Did the two-tone blue and white just to spruce it up, because it was that old 80s. This is a 1988. It was the 80s peeling clear coat era, and the clear coat was almost completely gone on the truck entirely. And so we scuff sanded everything, cleaned it up, and did a very quick paint job to it. Which this is Endura paint, made by a company in Alberta, and it is heavy duty industrial paint. And if you look, it is single stage, and it is still shining after years of sitting in the sunshine and being bleached by the Alberta sun. It is still shining and looking good. I do love this truck, but the future is probably not mine for the truck. Eventually the owner may come for it, I don't know. For now it sits. We've got a couple of vehicles over here. These are just literally winter beaters for my other two daughters, for Aiden and Kaylee. And all they do is park them here in the summertime, drive their cool old trucks, and pick them up in the wintertime. We put fuel stabilizer in them, and we put bounce sheets in them to keep the mice away. And they're ready to go. Actually, Aiden's, I need to do a tire balance, and they both need oil changes when they get going again. Probably at the end of October. It's mid-October right now. Probably at the end of October we'll get that going. This is my 1950 Studebaker pickup. This thing is awesome. I love it. It's dented and destroyed and rusty, but try to find a Studebaker in good condition with all the parts. And I have all the parts for this thing, and then some actually. We've got the cab and the frame. Does the door open? The door opens. This is the bottom seat. The last owner had it recovered, as with the back of the seat. And as you can see, it looks pretty good. So the Studebaker, I don't think it closes.
That's just gonna drive me nuts.
Anyway, here's the truck box for the Studebaker, the hood. I have the fenders for it. I've got everything, including an engine, which is a Flathead 6. And I don't know if I'm going to use the engine and transmission for it though. It's a 4-speed manual with a cable-driven overdrive, like cable-operated overdrive. I don't know if I'm going to use it all. I may put in just a simple small block V8, make it happy. I could LS swap it too. The sky's the limit. This thing's a blank canvas for me, and I can't wait for the time when I'm going to get after it and get going on this truck, because it's just going to be fantastic. It's going to be a stick, it's going to be a V8, it's going to be fun. Well, fun and dependable, honestly. I want to be able to jump in this thing and drive it 4 hours down to Edmonton, 5 hours to Edmonton, and cruise around, I want to be able to take it wherever and not think about what's going to break, what's going to fall apart, what's going to be bad. Studebaker. Cool as anything. That gets us over to this silver Dodge. This was a freebie, and it's a pile. The front clip, cab, fenders, and hood, and bumper, and all that jazz, fantastic shape. Like literally next to no rust on them at all. The engine is destroyed. It's 5.7 Hemi, and it is miled out and been abused. The transmission is unknown. I have no idea. Transfer case might work, might not. The front suspension is thundered. The brakes are thundered. We hauled it's a True Track posi, clutch style posi, out of the rear diff to put into the lunch truck. We never quite made it that far though, because I found out that it's wore out, so we need to rebuild the clutch packs inside of it. Then we can put it in the lunch truck. But as far as this truck goes, there's a lot of good meat and potatoes on it. And we may turn this into a daily driver yet, because we have parts trucks for it. This is just Brooks RAV4. Kind of a sad story with this car. It ran like a charm up until it didn't. Toyotas are wonderful until they're not. And it's got either an electrical gremlin or the timing is out of whack or something. And I have not bent my will towards fixing it as of yet. So sadly it's been sitting for the last 2 years, and I know she would love to get her car back, but it's one of those in the ether kind of jobs. If I find myself with nothing to do, then I'll bring it in the garage, go through change the timing belt and stuff, check it over, and start there. We have done some things to it, a few sensors and whatnot, trying to see if we can pinpoint where the main issue is with it. But it starts up, it runs great for a very short time, and then it runs like garbage and dies. And you can't give it enough throttle, you can't play with it enough. It's just, well, here it is sitting, it's a pile. Now this truck here was another freebie. It was from my good friend Chad, and this has a little bit of local fame, because if you look inside the truck box here, you can see steering knuckle, smashed steering knuckle, what's left of the CV axle, and if you look on the tip there, you can see the ball socket from the ball joint. So this truck was doing some rounds around the Hythe Motor Speedway, and the ball joint let go, and then the poor thing hit the wall at full steam, because there wasn't much he could do. It was just ride the wall until it stopped, and he tore the bottom section out of the truck basically. This is all destroyed, the control arm shot and everything. But what this does have is a slightly high mileage but fantastically running 2003 2004 Hemi, Gen 3 5.7 Hemi, and this engine and transmission would go really well into that silver Dodge over there. So thank you, Chad, and we're going to make something happen with this truck eventually. Can't tell you what. If you guys want an idea of whether this thing was worth saving or not, just take a look at the passenger side door. The door is closed, but you can see the gap right up down the side of it. Like that is twisted. So that's twisted. That means the rest of the body is twisted. Probably the frame as well. Really not worth saving. These are leftover parts of vehicles from my good friend Stan. He moved to Arizona, needed a place to store them. We've got a Dodge cab and an International cab from the 40s or late 30s, early 40s. I think this one's like a 34. That's a 40 something International. Yeah, give or take. But they're sitting for future projects for Stan or whoever finds interest. Now this guy right here is a 12 valve Cummins, hooked up to an automatic. It's a 2-wheel drive chassis out of a 90 or 91. Could be, it's got this thing came with an intercooler and stuff, so I would have to say 92, 93 maybe. But regardless of that, it's sitting for project possibilities, and I have a possible project for it. I'm just not 100% sure I want to go that route yet. I have two different projects. One is right there. Okay. And the other one is just down the road here a little bit. Now, if you take a look, we've got a couple of nitros here. This one, the engine runs perfectly fine. It's a 3.7 liter V6. Drivetrain's fantastic in it. Has a major electrical gremlin that kills all power. And I believe we hunted down several things on it through the PDC and main wiring harnesses, but to just for the fact that we did not find it and fix it. So it sits. Will we do anything with it? Probably not. It's honestly probably up for sale if anybody wants a good running 3.7 liter V6 and automatic transmission. There you go. That brings us to this nitro. Is I believe a 2008 or 9. That's an 07. 08 I want to say. Comes with the fancy stuff. It's got the 4 liter V6, so a bit more powerful engine. Full load leather interior, all the bells and whistles you could get on this thing. But the engine's shot, and sadly, because 4 liter engine is very hard to find parts for, and it's kind of gone past the point of do we really want to fix it or not, because the bottom end is completely toast. The oil pump failed, and it was not long after we did head gaskets, timing chain setup and everything. Then we had to fight through a couple little drivability issues. We had some codes coming on. Ended up doing oxygen sensors, then load testing the wiring harness right to the ECM. Found out the ECM was no good. Replaced that. Then it was perfectly running good for about 3 weeks. And my buddy went outside one day and it wasn't running anymore. He'd fired it up to warm it up, went in the house, and what happened was the oil pump decided to completely die, and it starved the engine of oil, and from there it just destroyed the bottom end of the engine. So unfortunately it sits. It's fantastic for parts if you have another 08 Nitro RT. Well, fantastic, but I don't, so it sits. I want to say 4-speed on the floor. As you can see, the engine's almost all there, complete. Radiator, all that stuff. Heck, even came with a battery. Dead. Hydraulic clutch, hydraulic single pop master cylinder for the brakes. And this poor thing lived for probably 25 or 35 years as target practice. Sadly, poor truck. But I have a thought. This guy and that Cummins frame and chassis and engine, they might make a pretty good combination together. Clean up the old patina on the truck, throw a better bed floor in it. It's the old school wood bed floor, and man, just drive it. Throw a windshield and back window in it and just drive it the way it is. That'd be pretty cool. Make a hell of a nice going to town rig. This little sad Valiant, it's a 63 Valiant. This is Brooke's car. It's a parts car. I love my stepdaughter. She's becoming as bad as I am for owning vehicles. Right now she has the yellow Dakota, the blue Dakota. She has the lunch truck. She has her RAV4 and 2 Valiants. So she's got 6 vehicles in the span of less than 3 years. Like, I think I'm rubbing off on her pretty good. But this poor thing is literally parts. The whole underneath of the car is rotted. When we put this on the trailer to bring it here, we almost had to ratchet strap it together just to keep it on the trailer. You'd lift off one end of it and the car would just spread. It's horrible. But it does come with a good what is that? A 170 slant 6. And it's got a 3-speed manual on the tree, which gives us options for this 65 Valiant 4-door. Now this thing is in fantastic shape. The underneath is solid. Sad that we're leaving it sit in the grass, but we don't have gravel everywhere or anything else to park it under. But this thing, the interior's complete. Not bad. It's a little bit rough right now. The whole car is 98% complete. We need to do a few things to it, get some brakes working, change fuel tank out, and basically give it a tune-up, and this thing will be ready to drive. It's in great shape. And it is the original 225 Super 6, which basically means nothing. But this thing is fantastic. It's so close to being on the road and running and driving that she can taste it, and she's going to let the lunch truck sit for a little while she accumulates some fundage for an engine, for a proper engine build. This little guy's getting the green light come spring. We're going to go through it, fix everything up, and get her a running driving rig. And what's cooler than an old 65 Valiant? Wow, okay, there's lots of things cooler, but I'm just saying, cool old school rig for a 20-something to cruise around in and enjoy. You betcha, man. Oh, some of you guys that have been around for a long time would remember this project. This was the start of my 1948 Chrysler Windsor Gasser. It's a two-door coupe, businessman's coupe, and this thing is big as any. It's long for a gasser, you know. But I took it. I took an international frame. I put a Ford F1 solid front axle in a 1954 solid front axle in it, and I made the front end tilt, which it does that beautifully. Mind you, it's all strapped down right now, so we're going to leave it. But I put engine mounts in for a 440 big block, transmission cross member for a stub shafted 440 automatic, the 727. And I peeled the back fenders off. They were in horrible shape. Very, very bad. But the inside of the car was in great shape. Even the dash, if you look through there, you can see the dash, the cluster and everything. It's just wonderful. So I really like this car. But am I going to do anything with it in the next 2 to 3 years? Probably not. It doesn't seem to be in the cards. I loosely welded in a Ford 9-inch. And so we got the Ford front axle, Ford 9-inch in the rear. It's literally welded in just so this vehicle can be a roller. That's all. Just so I could roll it. The suspension wise is way too high, obviously. I would knock it down, probably 4-link it, and make something happen out of it. It can sit here for as long as it wants to. Good car. Miscellaneous truck frame. Can't even tell you what it's from. I believe it's Ford, but maybe, maybe not. I want to say something like an early 80s F-150. Not 4x4 or anything. Just a regular 2-wheel drive chassis. This is an S10 chassis, I want to say. Yeah, it looks like an S10 chassis. Again, this came from Stan. He had plans of putting one of those bubble cabs up there on it. And then when you move to Arizona, it's very hard to bring your own stuff with you when you have multiple amounts of car parts and stuff. So this stuff's just sitting, hanging out, just being parts. Try not to hit it with the lawn tractor when we come in. School bus from the 70s, I want to say, and yeah, it literally sits as storage. School buses are great storage. This thing, the old swinger, come around here. Side here. Underneath everything, you can see an air cleaner, and that has a 440 in it. So it's a motorhome 440. Everybody likes them. Lots of fun, lots of good things, but they're also low compression. They're great for building a bit of torque, but there's not a lot to them. And I can't even remember what year this thing is, but this one's something special. The guys had this pulled out of the truck and gone through at a machine shop. It makes okay, there's numbers, and then there's phantom numbers, there's stories, we're not sure. It will spin the back tires on pavement, and it has somewhere between 500 and 650 horsepower. Now, in my head, to calculate that out, I'd say 5 to 550 horsepower is a reasonable number. And very soon, hopefully before the snow falls, we are going to pull this engine out of here and get it ready for a project with John, who's also down in Arizona. So you guys might see us pulling that poor weapon out of here pretty soon, actually. Then we get down to just a couple of miscellaneous truck frames. This is a 2012 or 2014 Ram 2500. It was a Hemi truck. Incidentally, I pulled the complete exhaust off of it and put it on my 78 Dodge. What a night and day difference from that rusted out Flowmaster, let me tell ya. This whole row here is where I have been able to pillage some of my parts for Brooks 79 Dodge and my 78 Dodge. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these 80s Dodges. Now, I don't include this Ram Charger because this is a special Ram Charger. It was a mud bogger of John's where he successfully won many trophies, having a heck of a good time just pounding through the mud bogs with this thing. Absolute animal of a truck. He is going to import it down to Arizona eventually when he finds the time and the energy to get to it, but right now he's building another life. So time will move on. Parts. All that is just a miscellaneous pile of 1990 Dodge. This guy here, this has a Hemi in it as well. This is an 04. I got the engine running, but man does it make noise. Like, not bottom end noise. It makes like no oil to the top end noise. I had it running for a good probably 8 to 10 minutes or so, and it didn't really quiet down. So if anybody was to use this engine for any kind of future, you know, hot rodding or fun, or even put it into another of these third gen Dodges, well, you're gonna have to go through it. And I have no interest in tearing the engine out just to find out what the problems are. I've got a good running third gen Hemi over there to go into that silver truck if I so choose. Heck, it might even find its way into the Studebaker. Some of you might remember my Ram Charger used to be a 6-speed manual. That 6-speed came out of a 2007 or 8 half-ton Dodge. And boy, what a great combination that was. I had a hopped up 360 in the Ram Charger, the 6-speed manual. That thing would fly. I mean, it would move, guys. That was such a blast to drive that thing. But that 6-speed and a Hemi may end up in the fender wells of the Studebaker, or it might be, it's going to most likely be the 6-speed, but probably just a small block Dodge, to be honest. But that brings us to this guy here again. He's just parts. This is a 1983 Dodge 4x4, 3/4 ton, and this is the engine that I toasted in less than 30 minutes with oil starvation. Sadly, I'd put it in the Dart. We took it for a drive. Everything was working great. I did one hard pass with it, lost all oil pressure, and toasted the mains out of it and the rod bearings. Yay me! This is a 1964 Dodge. Used to be a military truck. Canadian Military, Alberta, something. I don't know what they used it for. It does have a tilt deck on it, and I have vast aspirations of turning it into a deck truck to haul vehicles with. Although, mind you, it's about 3 or 4 feet too short to really do that. And plus we have other issues with it. These are split rim wheels. It's a 5-bolt hub, but man, they are odd looking. There's a lot of conversion work that would have to be done to this thing. And it doesn't have an engine in it. It had the old flathead 6. This thing is in some pretty sweet shape inside though, minus the mice loving the seat. You look at the steering wheel and the gauge cluster and everything, it's very, very complete. And I don't know what the future holds for it. It may get that Cummins engine and drivetrain, or I may do something else with it, because if I do the drivetrain, I'll probably have to make it a stick with a transmission that has a PTO output on it to make the tilt that work, because my brain won't let me just drive it as a deck truck. It has to work if it's gonna do the thing. But yeah, big old 64 Dodge 400, and that puts it somewhere up in the 1.5 ton, 2 ton category, somewhere around there. And it's big as anything. But like I said, I would have many problems with getting brake parts working for it, getting proper wheels that aren't split rim, and a whole pile of things. So it sits, and we decide. To our last 3 or 4 vehicles, one of them, we cannot say how much we love this rig. This is Nat's 2003 Dodge Dakota. V6, automatic, 4x4. What a mule. This thing is a beast. It just keeps on trucking, doing whatever we want to do. Whether it's long highway trips, or hauling garbage, or pulling engines out of vehicles. Like, this thing is a tank, and we love this rig so much. It's been the best thing that we ever pulled out of that scrapyard. At that scrapyard, she's like, I want that truck, and I'm like, oh man, okay, well, whatever. And you know what, I had to do a fair bit of work to it. Brakes wise, of course, transmission was shot, had to rebuild the transmission, replace the fender, did a few other things to it, but that was like 6 years ago almost. It's got 400 and some thousand kilometers, and this thing is just, every day it's our go, go, go rig. We want to go down, we take the Dakota. We want to go to Edmonton, we take the Dakota. We want to go to Dawson Creek, we take the Dakota. It's fantastic. Now, most of you have seen in the last few videos the old 67 Dodge Dart. My car. I have owned and loved and hated this car for almost man, a good 19 years now. Easy 19. An argument can be made for 20 years. Actually, I did own it for over 20 years. It's been on the road for about 18, 19 years, mind you. And when I say on the road, I mean it's a love-hate, on-again, off-again relationship. But it is currently running and driving, happy as a clam for the most part, and love having my car back on the road. This thing is my little animal, and we will continue to build on it and continue to do things and break it and fix it and break it and fix it some more. Love this car. My daily driver. A few of you have been following along. You remember the videos a couple months ago. We pulled this guy out of a farmer's back pasture. Got the engine running in one video. Put a complete floor in the car, in the truck. Reassembled the dash and interior and the wiring that was all cut. Did a tune-up on the engine. Did a Comet and SOS pad wash on the body, so it actually feels like something now. And yeah, actually come back around here. I'll show you. We in one night, Matt and I put the exhaust from that 2013, 2014 Ram 2500 frame. You can see the tailpipe sitting down there, and everything from the cat back is on this truck, and it just fits. I mean, it's like a ½ inch away from the drive shaft. It is so close, it's almost rubbing on one of the shock boots, like, but it fits, it doesn't rattle, and it hangs out, and it makes for a very enjoyable. That's a 3-inch exhaust system, but the muffler on it is huge. It makes for a great quiet ride. It's got a tiny bit of rumble to it, and it's great for going back and forth to work all the time. So this is Natalie's 1968 Fargo 100. Same kind of truck as a Dodge D100. Fargos were Canadian made. This thing originally came with a 318 automatic. When we got the truck, it didn't have any engine or transmission in it. And heck, it didn't even have a seat in it. Most of the floor was missing from rust. But it now has a 400 big block, a motorhome 400 big block that we have cammed up, put an intake on, put some ceramic coated headers on. It's this is a great running engine, man. I'm actually running on a points ignition right now as well. Happily, fires up and runs great. The engine bay is so cavernous I can hear an echo. Like, even the 400 isn't big enough to fill the whole engine bay. Like, these engine bays were fantastic. You could climb in there, you could have a nap, you could rent it out to a family of 9. Like, good lord, people, fantastic. The Fargo needs some loving. Need a windshield, which we have. We need to get a windshield rubber, which we don't have. All the brakes are completely brand new, completely everything. The drums, the shoes, the hardware, the lines, the master cylinder, all of it. Everything is brand new on this truck. And the last things we have to do steering and suspension wise are a new pair of kingpins and 2 outer tie rods. That would be steering and suspension completely good to go on this truck. Yeah. The good is there's a lot of great stuff already done to it. The bad is the doors don't fit properly. This one doesn't even latch even if you try it. It's missing window hardware on both sides to roll the windows up and down.
We do have them though.
But we have the parts. I welded in new floors into it, and sadly we've let them get rusty by the truck sitting outside. Needs a gas tank. This one leaks. I sealed it and and did the internal seal bladder, but it found a way to start leaking again. So we're probably going to end up with an under chassis gas tank and probably a fill neck in the box. I don't really want to do that, but it's going to be the end result, the best thing we can do to it. We gotta wire the truck front to back. The headlight wiring is, some of it's there. The ignition wiring's all there, and the cluster all works. That's fantastic. But there's no heater box in it right now. I've gone through and refurbished the whole heater box assembly, except for the heater core. I've got to do some searching and find a proper heater core for it, or one that will fit. Taillights we got to do bumpers, we got to straighten out this fender, we have to, like I said, get the doors opening and closing like a normal truck would. I remember these trucks when I was a kid. My dad had several of this style, mostly like that D400 up in the back. And when you're like a 7-year-old kid and you have to lift the door frame up and slam the door closed, they were bad back then. They didn't get any better in the last 30, 40 years, right? So yeah, 40 years. So anyway, that's it. This box side was crushed in pretty good. I've got it out better. It's still not great. It's still in, like, the side is supposed to be sitting right around here. So we still have several inches to peel out. And we got to put the box bracing back on. A little bit of welding up in the corners, you know. But, I mean, overall, the truck is complete. We have the tailgate. We've gone through, redone the differential, redid the brakes. The transmission's been gone through. Engine's good.
It's been cleaned.
It's been cleaned.
No.
It needs to be cleaned again, but it's so close. It's probably a good 4 months of evenings and weekends, and it'll be a pin, man. It'll be a heck of a rig, and that's the plan. So guys, that's where we're gonna leave this video. That's just a walk around of our field of dreams, as it were, and a host of any amount of projects that we want to get after. We have projects, we have parts, we have all kinds of things to make stuff happen, and that's why we do the things that we do. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for sticking through the video, those of you that did, and we really appreciate it. Nat and I both want to extend our thanks for hanging out with us on this long weekend Monday of Canadian Thanksgiving. Anyway, guys, I'm Dave from Dave's Glory Shopworks. From myself and Natalie, thank you all very much for tuning in, and we'll see you on the next one.